Hello, lovelies. Yeah, it's a 2-video sort of day. The Munchkin Big Box, which is being produced for the 25th anniversary of Munchkin, has, at the point of me creating this video, exceeded $630,000 raised. So congratulations to Steve Jackson Games, John Kovalik, everyone else involved. That is a fantastic achievement on top of a quarter century-ish of a fantastic project that has brought a lot of people joy and made an awful lot of money and has basically saved Steve Jackson Games. But as I have intimated many times before, this is all a bit bittersweet to me, because the success of Munchkin as a brand and all the spin-off products and everything comes from the Munchkin's Guide to Power Gaming, which I wrote with my writing partner of the time, Steve Mortimer. And yeah, 25 years ago, which is an absurd amount of time. But I spent the weekend with people from my old gaming group, who I've known for more than 25 years, including Steve. And all of these things happening together, that's why I'm a bit more dishevelled than usual, by the way. All of these things happening together, it's just, it makes you think, right? And there I am, thinking back to 1998, 1999, 2000, when we were putting the ideas together and everything, and bouncing ideas off our gaming group, and some of our gaming group ended up kind of in the book, and all the rest of it, and then all of that wild, heady, sudden success at the time. How stoked we were, especially to win an Origins award, back when that meant something. All the trouble and hassle lugging around a tower PC from one place to the next, so we could continue to write and refine and so on, and all the rest of it. And, the Munchkin's Guide to Power Gaming kind of launched my career. Mongoose Publishing ended up employing me to do some books and things for them off the back of that. Comedy books. Ended up a bit pigeonholed. But yeah, still, it got me my start, and it helped Steve out, though his career took a very different path. And it's something that loads of people enjoy, and it's in the form of the card game and the book, obviously, and the board games and everything else that's spun off. But this thing that has brought all of these people this enormous sense of joy from our sense of humour and our work, and derived from our work, that's fantastic. It feels good, but it also feels bad because we were never really compensated or even thought about after the book. Now, we were kind of screwed over by our contract, but it was like the first thing I ever really did on a professional level, the first thing that we ever did. So, you can't pick and choose about the contract necessarily. We were promised something like 2 to 2.5% of derivative works. But there were caveats to that, like a certain amount of the original material needed to be replicated in the derivative works. And obviously I never really had the money to make any sort of legal challenge. A few years ago, someone did offer to help us out with some legal advice. So we took the free offer, a letter was written, but Steve Jackson Games, weren't about to pay us 2% of the proceeds of the Munchkin Millions, and I didn't have the money to prosecute a legal case. It was just like a shot in the dark, hoping that it might prick someone's conscience or something, but it came to nothing. It's disappointing, right? It's not how I do business, but I am a notoriously terrible businessman. if I felt pricked by my conscience about this sort of thing, if I felt that, morally, ethically, if not legally necessarily, I owed someone money or I'd built a huge amount of success off their back, I would send them something, And while I love that people love the Munchkin's Guide and everything that has come derived from it, it doesn't necessarily pay the bills. Now, Steve is doing okay. He's got a terrible Warhammer habit to support, but I am a disabled creator, and the RPG industry is not exactly stable in terms of money and income, and our government looks like they're about to crack down on people who aren't proper ill, whatever that means. So, I that on top of everything else, I look at these hundreds of thousands, these millions of dollars that Steve Jackson Games has made off the back of our jokes, our ideas, our suggestion that John Kovalik be used to illustrate them, albeit that he didn't end up being used in the Munchkin's Guide, even though we wanted him to be. I look at all that and I can't help but feel it's unfair in some way. And that is just, it's made, I would have felt that way anyway, but the sensation is made more keen by the fact that so much money is involved. Just from this GoFundMe, it would be tens of thousands of dollars, right? And that stings quite a lot. It might not seem like a lot of money to you, but to me it is. Now, various people have suggested that I start like a GoFundMe or something, so that anyone whose conscience is pricked could send us a little bit of money that I could split with Steve, given that we're not going to be compensated by Steve Jackson Games ever. I'm not sure, that feels a bit too much like begging. But if I am going to do anything, I should strike while the iron is hot here, right? And while there's a lot of attention on this big Kickstarter, and while it's the anniversary, and they did seem to count the anniversary from the publication of the book rather than the card game, it is distressing, because things are always tough, but I don't really know what to do about it. We don't have legal recourse. For some people, they would say, well, that's that then. I could do a GoFundMe, but that's just straight up begging. I could write an essay or something about the origins of the Munchkin's Guide and how we went about writing it, and I could put that up as a pay what you want on something like Drive-Thru, but then Drive-Thru is going to take a cut. It's difficult. It is very, very difficult, and I'm not sure what to do, if anything, about it. I mean, you learn your lesson about contracts, but still, it does feel tremendously unfair. So what do you think I should do? I need an excuse, or I need license from people I know and who watch me in order to figure out quite what to do here. And I would appreciate your insights. Sang.
I don't often make explicitly political games, but The Little Grey Book is one of them. It's a parable about this social media panopticon we've all made, where everyone is always watching each other for anyone who steps out of line in any way. And The Little Grey Book is about the inescapability of upsetting someone. It's a one-trick pony, but it's a good one-trick pony. Available at DriveThruRPG and post-mort.com.